Hello everyone, welcome back to our monthly winner box tournament here at Grey Ogre Games. My name is Mick, I'm one of your hosts alongside Wilfred Lau. Are you going to be casting? Are you going to be...
No? Yeah, I'm just gonna talk at random.
Yay, excellent.
So Jeffrey is trying to figure out how to use a live app on his phone.
Oh no, we have the live app.
No, I don't think that's his phone actually, I'm not sure.
No, that is his phone.
However,
because our live app is totally different.
Is it not the same app?
Yeah, it's the same app, it's just a different phone. So he doesn't have to waste his battery.
Okay, so Yacheng starts off by rolling a 5 and Jeffrey rolls an 8. So Jeffrey is going to start up on the plate. So Yacheng's on Teamer Energy and I believe Jeffrey is on Sultai Energy. Alright, so Jeffrey keeps this hand and leads off with a Fetid Pulse, while Yacheng heads off with an Attune to the Ether. So not much going on in this early game, just really setting up for later plays. Alright, so Jeffrey is going to play a long toss cupboard here on turn 2, so indicating early now that he is definitely on Sultai Energy.
Yep.
So Yacheng does have the Harness Lightning in hand.
Does she want to dispense it? I think
two copies as well. Unfortunately, she seems to only have 2 lands, which means she probably should be casting the Harness Lightning anyway.
Yeah, but next turn she can go like, just passes the turn. I think waiting for Jeffrey to try to spend some energy, but I'm not quite sure whether Jeffrey here has...
So the thing is that Jeffrey has no energy to spend. By doing this, it's possible that she could have walked into a Blossoming Defense.
Exactly, so, you know.
But she had the correct read on Jeffrey just not having it. Well, I figured that even if Jeffrey did have the Blossoming Defense, she can probably just cast the second Harness Lightning the following turn anyway.
That's true, but you waste your... what you call it? You'd be wasting your... spell. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
be wasting your removal.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at Yacheng's hand, what she does have is spells.
She does have the Long Tusk Cup, which I think she'll be dropping it this turn. The Long Tusk Cup can be a very big creature. It will be a 4/4 in no time.
Yeah. So I mean, especially since she already has 5 energy.
Yeah.
So Long Tusk Cup gonna be pretty tricky, assuming Jeffrey doesn't have the Fatal Push.
So let's see. She might want to keep it up for Essence Scatter, but no. Okay, I think the Long Tusk Cup is a better play than trying to keep up your mana for Essence Scatter.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, what does Sultai Energy do on turn 4? If he doesn't have the Bristling Hydra, then Yacheng's turn is a little bit silly. She does have the second Harness Lightning, and I don't think you actually want to be using the Harness Lightning on the Walking Ballista anyway, so you probably wouldn't leave the mana up at that spot.
Well, the Bristling Hydra is something that's going to be very difficult for either player to deal with. And here, the most efficient, or at least the most mana efficient play here is just to go, what's that guy? The Rogue Refiner.
Yep.
She's going to pump it up. Oh no, she gets 2 energy. Either a Rogue Refiner to hopefully draw a land or cast the, what's his name? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so the reason Jeffrey's not doing that is the reason Yacheng isn't pumping the Long Tusk Cup is because she still does want to play around the Fatal Push.
There we go. Scarab God.
Yep, so I mean, you're better off just using the energy counters on like the Bristling Hydra is going to come down anyway. Because at 8 energy, it's going to be pretty hard to kill a Bristling Hydra.
Alright, so she's going to push the Scarab God onto the top of the library before it can be activated. And just gonna beat in with a very, very, very big Long Tusk Cup. Although Fatal Push is can still be quite annoying.
Yep, so she's probably just... Oh, she goes for
full
commitment.
Goes... Oh, yeah, okay. So brings him down to 12. That actually speeds up the clock quite a bit. instead of a 4-turn clock, it's going to be now a
3-turn?
3-turn.
Yeah, so I mean, that's at the price of perhaps...
Oh no, hostage taker.
Yep, of just Jeffrey having removal spell, which he does. It's not Fatal Push as it turns out, it's Hostage Taker.
Yeah,
which is fine because Jeffrey does have a lot of lands and just two cards in hand. I believe one of them is a Bristling Hydra. I can't see what the other one is. So right here, Yachung's gonna play a Sour Conduit. Because she's a little bit stuck on mana at this point.
Yeah, and
she wants to play the Glorybringer next turn as well.
Correct, and you definitely want to keep up mana for the Scarab God that you put 2 cards into the deck.
Yep, so here's Jeffrey's first instance of getting energy. It's by playing an Ether Hub. And
he's going to try to run out the Scarab God. Let's see. There's definitely a reply there with Essence Scatter. No land, unfortunately, but I think right now she can start playing.
Yeah, the Rogue Refiner is pretty good here as well. Because I think we're probably getting to the point of this game where it's going to get a little bit more grindy.
Okay, maybe not Rogue Refiners. She goes for
I mean, it's a good play as well because Jeffrey's tapped out. So it's going to be pretty hard to beat Bristling Hydra.
Especially with like 7 energy left over.
Yeah.
Right?
So 7 energy that puts up to being 5 toughness, which means that Jeffrey has to commit everything to block it and hope it gets there. Of course, Yachong also does have the choice to just not attack in this spot as well.
Right.
So I mean, both players starting to get a little bit low on cards. Jeffrey does have the edge going to the late game because he does play a Scarab God, whereas Yachong's plays are perhaps more mana efficient, but
doesn't have the we saw
doesn't have the inevitability.
All right, we saw Yachong's game against I think it's Martin Chong.
Marvin.
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 Marvin Chong, and like once he roughs the board, that's it.
Yeah.
Like there's no coming back from it. She's gonna put 1 counter and then trade off both creatures. Okay, I guess that's okay. Like
I mean,
I'm not a big fan.
I don't think either player is unhappy with this.
But I don't know. I think it's slightly wasted that you are
throwing away the Hydra. I mean, to be fair, Jeffrey does have 1 card in hand, so it's down to how Yachong wants to leverage her extra cards to get there. So she sandbags the Ether Hub, which is really good because Jeffrey still believes now that she doesn't have to. Well, now he knows that she can play a Glorybringer next turn.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, but there was nothing that you'd be playing into except for, let's say, Hostage Taker. So right now I think she's just trying to bait out the Hostage Taker to take the Rogue Refiner. Unfortunately, if it does take the Rogue Refiner, Jeffrey here will be able to cast it with the remaining mana. I think that's the play, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that still is the play for Jeffrey.
There we go,
Hostage Taker. It's not like he has the lands to cast the Glorybringer immediately as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jeffrey's pretty happy with this turn so far. Unfortunately, the Glorybringer is, I mean, aside from being moved, is also a 3-turn clock. So Yachong draws another land here, which is decent as far as playing multiple spells the turn goes later on. It's quite likely that she will slam the Glorybringer. The question is whether she chooses to exert it or not.
No, I don't think you should exert. I mean,
because if you don't exert it, Jeffrey does get to attack back for 5. It's not insignificant.
It's not insignificant, but it is a 4-turn clock, and right now Yachong is representing 2 more turns for Jeffrey to dig himself out of this situation. Granted that Jeffrey doesn't draw any removal.
Yeah, I mean, Jeffrey's drawn the Fatal Push. Unfortunately, Fatal Push
does not
matches up pretty well against Glorybringer.
Yeah.
He only has a Winding Constrictor to follow up.
Okay, so still not lethal damage unless, of course, he draws, let's say, a Verdurous Gearhawk, but I don't think that's in the deck, right? I don't think
people play Gearhawks anymore.
Yeah. So...
Alright, so Rogue Refiner is pretty good play here.
Oh, is that a Hostage Taker? Okay, so she's going to exert right now and kill the
probably the Constrictor or the Rogue Refiner, I suppose.
I think she pointed to the Constrictor, and Jeffrey might want to save it. I'm not quite sure why she tried to kill the Constrictor there.
Probably because I think if Jeffrey follows up with a Walking Ballista next turn, he could take down the Glorybringer anyway.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because he can take down Glorybringer and still have Fatal Push left up. or something. And now Yachun does have her own clock with Whirler Virtuoso, which is a really good draw as well.
Can she produce? Oh, she can only produce 3 top tiers.
Yeah, I mean, but 3 is really still a 2-turn clock.
There we go. Fatal push there, very efficient.
In fact, she could just really make 2, and that's fine as well.
Yeah.
So instead, she does choose to make 3. So Jeffrey's firmly on the back foot here.
That's in response to the
fatal push.
No, that's in response to the energy gain.
Oh, okay.
She was at 9 before.
Right,
she would have gone to 12. Then that would have been more than lethal.
Yep. So I mean, Jeffrey's still massively behind here. He really needs a walking ballista now.
Yeah, but walking ballista 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's got 8. He can walking ballista and get rid of 3 of the top tiers.
Yeah. I mean, it's more likely that he probably shoots down 2, and then next turn puts another 2 counters back and kills off the Glorybringer or something like that. So I mean, even if he does have it, it's possible that he doesn't have the counters or enough damage to shoot down both the Glorybringer and the Flyers in this step. So Jeffrey has a Blossoming Defense as well as something else in hand. It looks like a land, but I'm not sure.
Nah, I have a feeling it's a spell. Let's see. Swing in with both.
Yep, so I mean, I think Yachun definitely has to block here. I wouldn't say she has to, but but blocking is great.
Yeah, but it's only 5 points of damage. What could Jeffrey have offered, or what can Jeffrey do to make sure that he doesn't die next turn? Because if this is just a trick and he wants to get Yachong to block, then I think she's losing a race. I think you can take that 7 points of damage, no problem.
Yeah, correct. So I mean, if the Glorybringer is not untapping next turn, it's possible that Yachong takes the damage. Jeffrey falls out of a walking ballista, and then that looks pretty bad for Yachong going to next turn.
That's true.
And because the Glorybringer is exerted, Jeffrey does have the extra turn, right?
Yeah.
Well.
Oh no. Okay. So
Yachun didn't block, and Jeffrey scoops it up.
Yeah. So okay. Yachong here takes it 1-0. This, by the way, is a win and in game. So if either of these players do win this round, they are playing in the top 8s later on in the day. If you just joined us, you're watching the monthly winner box tournament here at Grey Ogre Games. My name is Mick. I'm one of your hosts alongside Wilfred Lau, the Brown Lantern.
Yep. Hi everyone.
That actually has a very weird connotation to it. Like what is brown? What kind of light constructs would you make if you were brown?
Oh, stuff that digs.
Stuff that digs.
Yeah, I mean, the point is that it's all light constructs anyway, right? So any lantern can make anything he wants.
That's true, but what would it? What part of the emotional spectrum would it be based off on?
I don't know, perseverance, but every lantern has perseverance anyway.
Not necessarily. Willpower
is perseverance.
Yeah, but that's only green lanterns, man. Okay, anyway. If you want to find out more about how to participate in the invitationals, all this is part of the invitationals. Players who win, players who take part in tournaments here daily will get qualification points and get invited to the seasonal qualifiers. Anyway, if you want to find out more, you just go on down to greyogregames.com.
Yep, or Facebook/Grey Ogre Games as well to keep up to date with events, promotions, all those sorts of neat stuff. If you want to see the VODs.
The VODs.
VODs.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it's called. Video on demand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to see those, you can go down to either twitch.tv/GreyOgreGames or youtube.com/GreyOgreGames.
Yeah. Ooh. Cool. Yachong here thinking about what do I bring in. I think the hardest thing to deal with is the Scarab God, right?
That's correct.
I
think Yachung's point is to play a more tempo-ish game and get to a point where the Scarab God doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But she is on a draw, so it's going to be a bit tougher. I think.
Yeah, I mean the better question is also what's Jeffrey bringing in. So I mean we can probably expect to see maybe some amount of Duress. I think Duress is reasonably good against this Teamer energy deck, because if you go turn 1 Duress followed by a Long Tusk Cup, it's your traditional resilient trap plus hand disruption combo.
Yeah, that's Yeah, turn 1, turn 1 Duress, turn 2 Long Tusk Out.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Pretty
it's
good.
usually like turn 1 you want to get either a Duress or a Tune, and turn 2 Long Tusk Out.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's any board wipes on Jeffrey's side because some of the creatures Yachong represents or Yachong puts onto the battlefield can be quite difficult to deal with for Jeffrey. So
Yeah. I mean, I don't think sweepers are coming in on either side. I also don't expect to see more spot removal probably.
I think Yachong is going to bring in the River's Rebuke. Like that's the one. That's one of those cards that
Yeah, you
is
can
very
just
good
randomly
against-
win the game.
Yeah, A, it helps you randomly win the game, and B, it's very good against Scarab God because like, oh, okay, you spend all that effort and spend all that mana on all your tokens. Okay, bounce everything. Everything just disappears. All your life is a
I
Scarab
mean, it's
God.
great, especially when you cast it and you bounce your own Glorybringer back to hand. Then your opponent has to think about like, oh, I cast creatures just to get mowed down again.
Oh, especially the what's that? It's actually very good against hostage takers too.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
it's fair enough. Yeah, even if they recast the creature, you get it back to hand, right?
Right. That's right.
Unfortunately, it also does cost like
6
a billion
bajillion
mana.
yeah. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Both decks are mid-rangey decks. Both decks kind of go slightly longer, and I think on turn 6 you can just tap out.
Yeah, more or less the
And just
same
cast
plan. So I mean, I think that perhaps Walking Ballista isn't so hot in this matchup. It's only really good against Boiler Virtuoso, right?
Yeah. But
I mean,
wouldn't you keep one?
you would definitely keep some, because I'm not sure there's that much to bring out, and Walking Ballista is good enough to win the game on its own. Like at a certain point, it's just that
That's right. You go turn 2. Like I mean,
it's just that turn 2 Walking Ballista is the weakest play possible.
No, turn 2 Walking Ballista is the weakest play possible. Turn 3 Walking Ballista after turn 2 Winding Constrictor. Now that's good.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
if you can protect it with let's say a
Blossoming
Blossoming
Defense
Defense, yeah.
or,
So it's possible that Jeffrey does play the tempo game if Yachong is on the removal counter spell plan.
So yeah, but it's all depends on your opening hand. Well,
Yeah. So I think
I just realized that Jeffrey's sleeves are pink,
yeah.
very bright.
Yeah, so I think it's possible that Jeffrey does try to play the tempo game, because it's possible. I can see Yachong bringing like extra essence scatters and negates on top of that as well. So yeah,
And she does. Your opening hand has a essence scatter, and
it looks like it only has one land though. It's
it
just
does, yeah,
I think it's just the
Blossoming.
Botanical Sanctum,
Yeah, that's right.
and it looks like either Glorybringer or Braid, Water Virtuoso.
this is not a hand you want to keep. All right, so she's gonna mulligan,
Ye-
and
Yep, and Jeffrey pumps his inner fist as Yachong takes a mulligan, because I think Jeffrey feels a little bit unlucky because he considered his last round under the impression that he would be able to draw into the top 8. As it turns out, Yachong's tiebreakers are bad enough that she can't afford to do the same. So Jeffrey's essentially forced to play this out. And I think it's quite rare for the last round of a tournament where we only have one table drawing, and I think like 4 or 5 tables battling out for the top 8.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think 4 or 5 tables are battling out for the top 8. I think only table 4 and table 5 are playing. The winners of those. Okay, so
Yeah,
the table 5 is weird. Table 5 is got pared down. 12
Yeah.
points and 10 points.
Yeah.
So if they draw, obviously one of them gets in, one of them doesn't. Well, if they draw,
Yep.
You
So,
see, right,
so the
if-
guy with 10 points is kind of forced to play, right? Just to have
Well,
a chance.
correct. The guy with 10 points is forced to play.
And
Either
even
one.
then,
Okay,
he's
so-
not guaranteed.
correct. If they play right, one of them is gonna get in.
Yeah.
If they draw, then obviously a 10-pointer doesn't get in.
Yeah.
So they play, and if they play, then table 4 has to play.
Yep. That's
Because-
correct.
Yeah, because just by virtue of
Yeah, I don't think it matters that much because no matter what they do, only one person from each of those tables is getting in, right?
That's right. Yeah. All right. Turn 2 Servant of Conduit. Is there a removal for the servant? No, just let it
So
go.
Jeffrey thinks about it.
Okay,
He's
just
like,
gonna cycle the.
so it makes you wonder what's in Jeffrey's hand that he kept it. So he probably does anticipate the slower game as well.
Yeah, but that's a lot of. Okay, so Fatal Push.
Oh, okay, so maybe just a better use of his mana. So now he uses up
Mhm.
2 mana again. Unfortunately, I'm not super sure what this deck does on 2 mana. Of course, Yachong's also a bit short on.
Like
slightly
small, fast creatures, right,
slightly
yeah.
mana screwed because she can't cast like a Whirler Virtuoso off this mana, for example.
Oh, right. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
and as well as because like she's using 8 hub to produce mana, it affects how good her Harness Lightning is as well.
But she's got 4 energy already, so I don't think that's too that's nothing to sneeze at. It's quite a bit of energy. And Jeffrey looks like his entire hand is just lands.
Yeah, I mean, Jeffrey's not doing a whole lot. He does have a Scarab God in his hand somewhere there, and a Fatal Push as well.
Alright, first blood. 3
So-
points of damage to Jeffrey's face, and that's followed up by, ooh, nice.
A tune. So this allows Yatron to get the island and then leave Supreme Will Miner up, which is going to turn out really badly for Jeffrey at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So, life and types of magic do change. Mana League is still good.
Bad Mana League is still good. Hey, you know the... What's that?
This Mana League draws you cards as well. I mean,
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
What's that one where you have pirates? Lookouts dispersal or something.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, man, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I looked at when I was looking at the set was, oh wow, if I play a Swashbuckler on turn 1 and get patches and leave this up, he can't do anything. And I rest was thinking about 2 different games.
Why? What's Swashbuckler? Oh, okay, that's Hearthstone.
It's
yeah.
Hearthstone.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. What the hell is patches?
Patches is the 1/1 that flies off your deck when you play a pirate.
Oh,
It's a 1/1 with haste that flies off your deck. It's a really good card, but you really almost always lose when you draw it normally.
okay, great. So it needs to be in your opening hand.
Yeah. So Jeffrey here, his fast lands are a little too fast, so he drew like 5 of them already. So it's coming to play attack. He can't even play a Scarab God, which
Well, he could have played a
unknowingly
Scarab
has
God,
worked
but-
out in his favor.
Yeah. Oh man, Yachong just draws a handful of lands there, but he's going to
Oh.
take the Glimmer of Genius.
Oh, I
here.
wasn't aware this deck was still playing Glimmer of Genius.
Hey man, Glimmer of Genius is still good. Draw 2 plus half cards.
Yeah, I mean it's
That's
kind
quite
of
too-
it's
yeah,
kind of
it's-
drawing 3 cards. Yeah, so we're in a really awkward spot here because both players have lots of removal for long task cups, but no long task cups at all. Yeah, so Jeffrey with Fatal Push, Yatra with Magma Sprays and stuff. So this Bristling Hydra is going to present a fairly big problem for Jeffrey.
Yeah, Jeffrey needs to be able to remove it.
Yeah,
but
so you can see
unfortunately
Jeffrey
doesn't
wincing a little bit as he says okay. So he's probably just forced to slam the Scarab God down here, which is not a great spot for him.
Exactly, the Bristling Hydra can become a 7/6.
Yeah, 7/6
and-
I think still trades with the Scarab God, if I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
wrong. Problem being that
Doesn't
Yachung...
trade with the Scarab God, and it's bigger than the Scarab
Yeah,
God.
so the problem with that player is that Yachung has both the Magma Spray and the Harness Lightning in hand. So Scarab God isn't even going to get value along the way.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so a Team Invader here, probably just gonna get some energy more than anything. Because he's got lands for days.
Yeah, I mean, he also wants to lay the basic land distance, so it's not a bad use of his mana anyway.
Is he gonna cast out the Scarab God? That's the question.
I mean, I don't think he has much of a choice, does he? I mean, if you leave the Hydra on the table, it's going to become like... I mean, even if Yachung just puts 1 counter on it for protection, that's still 5 plus 8. That's a 2-turn clock, starting from next turn as well.
Oh, it just passes, okay.
Jeffrey says done.
Alright.
So that is interesting. So it just looks like Jeffrey has just been on the back foot like this entire match.
Okay,
So Jeffrey thinks about. He's got two more basic lands in hand.
yeah, this is quite unfortunate for Jeffrey. Like he's got the
Yeah, so it's just getting snowballed all the way down, right? So it's possible he wants to play like Scarab God and leave up Blossoming Defense.
Oh my god, did he just draw another land? Yes, he did. Wow, that must be frustrating. Frustrating as hell.
So at this point, there's only one card that would win Jeffrey the game. Unfortunately, it's called Scape Shift.
No, Scape Shift can't even do it. Scape Shift deals the 18 points of damage at this point.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So
Right.
what does win Jeffrey the game here?
Uh,
Explore into Scape Shift.
let's go. Explore Leyland, Scape Shift. Okay,
so Jeffrey has
so
a good long think
Vraska's
about
Contempt.
it.
Okay, so Vraska's Contempt was in hand. Gonna go for the Rogue Refiner, but
Yeah, because I mean, if he plays on the Hydra, it's not gonna get him any life, and that's not so hot.
the problem is the Hydra can become a 7.
Yeah, but this way it does guarantee
Okay.
Jeffrey's survival. So it's possible that Yachung would just
Magma spray her.
spray
own.
the own Rogue Refiner and then like put a bunch of energy on the Hydra.
Okay, so what is she doing? Okay,
Yeah,
so
she's
she's
just-
going to
Just going through the
she's gonna
steps of
protect
pumping
it.
the Hydra. Yeah.
Protect it first. Okay, do you have anything?
Oh, okay, so this is a great play from Yachong, actually. Just to respond to whatever else Jeffrey might have. Unfortunately, I actually don't think there's anything in Jeffrey's, in even the format at 3 mana that can kill Bristling Hydra in those colors.
Exactly. Pouncing Jaguar just to block.
Pouncing Jaguar costs like the one that costs 3?
Yeah, 3 mana, 3/2 flash.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think that if Jeffrey had it, he would have cast it first.
Who knows?
And also, if you're getting to a point where playing Pouncing Jaguar, it's, not so hot anymore.
Yeah.
So Jeff thinks
oh shit, is he going to give... Oh, okay, no.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
He can't give it hexproof. Oh, he can give it hexproof, but then
it's going to counter his...
hexproof,
Yeah, it's going to counter his own Vraska's Contempt. So,
correct.
That's the game. Game 1 was a bit close. Game 2 was a complete landslide because Jeffrey just kept the hand of a cycling land and never got there.
Alright, so Yachong takes it 2-0.
Yay, standard. One guy draws more lands.
One guy draws more lands and loses. Isn't that every game in Magic? Yeah, so Yachong takes it 2-0. She's in the top 8. We will probably be back with the top 8. Kimberlyn A52 is asking, where's Cass Ang? He's behind the counter somewhere out there. We're going to come back for the top 8 playoffs soon. So I'll put you on a replay of what happened earlier in the day. But before we go, just want to remind you that you can join us on the stream every Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Singapore time. You miss those tournaments, it's okay. Just go on down to youtube.com/GreyOgreGames. Watch all the replays because we record everything. We record almost everything. Last but not least, do listen to our partners, the Power9 Podcast at power9podcast.com. Alright, we're going to call it a break. We're going to have a break for a while. We'll be right back.